yesterday's session, we had taken a look at war games, specifically Bandit on Over the Wire. What was the last thing that we did yesterday? Like, what was the last topic that I touched upon in the previous class? Mr. Robot, you are way past Mr. Robot. In Over the Wire on that website, had I touched that Krypton? Had I done anything besides Bandit? Had I shown that to you guys? I'm asking, like, in yesterday's session, what was the last thing that I did before wrapping up? Like, I know we did Over the Wire, but did we do anything besides Bandit there? See, okay, so, so did we try Krypton on Over the Wire yesterday? No. Okay. So see, Bandit again. There are different war games present. All of these have the same format. Like, you log into one level, solve some kind of challenge, and then you move on to the next one, different level, and so on until you reach the end of that particular war game. So we've seen Bandit, you've seen a few levels. I'd like you to try the rest of it on your own. Okay, because see, I won't be completing the entire thing in this session in class here. But after Bandit, there are other war games that you can try, like Krypton. Okay, so now similarly, if I want to connect to this one, okay, it tells me that the first level is easy. The following string encodes the password using base 64. Can anyone tell me how I can decode this now?
Uh, we can go to any online site which decrypts it and paste it there. So
Yes, we can do that. So all I need to do is I can copy this thing, okay, and go to base 64, sorry, not 54, base 64, I think, yeah, what is this? Yeah, this base 64 decode.com. Simply paste the copied text here, click on decode, and it gives us the answer. And it is simply Krypton is great. Okay, so this is the password in this case. So the base 64 for that is this. You can also do something like you can use this base 64 command line as well. So 64 actually hyphen D for decode. Oh yeah, it usually takes files. Okay, so what you need to do is use echo and pipe it to base 64, and it will give you the decoding Krypton is great, or whatever your result is in case it's a different string. Okay, so that means this is the password, and you can use this password to log in with the username Krypton1 on port so and so. Now that means is SSH Krypton1 at, we'll just we'll just copy this. It's much better than typing it all out. Labs, and I need to specify the port, which is, let me just confirm, 2231 2231, and enter. So then it will ask you for the password, which is going to be this. Let's copy that, paste it, and we are logged in. So now we are supposed to solve some challenge, some puzzle, which will allow us to go to the next level. So it says that the password for level 2 is in the file Krypton 2, and it is encrypted using a simple rotation. It is also in non-standard ciphertext format. When using alpha characters for ciphertext, it is normal to group the letters into 5-letter clusters regardless of word boundaries. So this helps obfuscate any patterns. But that is not the case with this file. That is what they're telling you. This file has kept the plain text word boundaries and converted it to the ciphertext. So it does not follow the standard ciphertext pattern. So Krypton 2 is the file, and earlier we had seen that they mentioned you can find the files in this Krypton directory. So let's go to that directory, Krypton ls. So we'll go to Krypton 1 because we are in that level currently. Let's see what we have. Okay, there's a readme. Readme is going to be basically the same as the previous ones, but it gives you a little bit more explanation. Like, this game is intended to give hands-on experience with cryptography and cryptanalysis. The levels progress from classic ciphers to modern. Okay, so let us see the file. This is our ciphertext, and we need to figure out what the plain text corresponding to this is. So, any suggestions on how I should do that? How I should proceed in this case? If I take a look at the hint again, it says that it is encrypted using a simple rotation called ROT13. So ROT13 is a cipher which shifts characters by 13 positions. So let us see how we can change that. So there is a command, okay, called tr or translate. So we can use this command to reverse a ROT13 encryption or a ROT13 cipher. See, ROT13 basically means, okay, let me just go to a website for it, which is known as rot13.com. So this simply means if you are typing something using ROT13, so this is our plain text, this is our cipher text. Using ROT13, we are shifting the characters by 13 positions. So in that way, A becomes N, B becomes O, C becomes P, D becomes Q, and so on. So if I keep going on, this will also keep going on. So you can see here that after we reached Z, we looped back around and started from A again. So every character, you could say, is shifted by 13 positions to the right, or not to the right, but 13 positions forward, you can say. So if I want to get something that's decrypted, that's encrypted using this ROT13, one way to do it is to simply paste it. Okay, no, not this. Need to copy this, paste it here, and I'll get the answer. It says level 2 password rotten. There is another way to do that as well. And we can use the command line for it. So like I mentioned, the translate or tr command, and it takes two parameters. The first is the character set at the beginning. So sorry, not the character set at the beginning, the original character set, and the second parameter is the character set that you want the translation to be done to. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to say that for A to Z, we need you to convert it. Now, since this is ROT13, we can apply ROT13 again and solve it. So we saw that uh, A becomes N. Okay, so N to Z and A to M. That is what we want the parameters to be. So when I apply this, I get the answer as level 2 password rotten. Rotten is the password for the next level. So what I can do is I can just SSH directly from here, SSH into @localhost. Enter the password and we are in level 2 now. So for this level, again, we need to go to the Krypton directory and there Krypton 2. Let's see what we have here and take a look at the readme. Okay, so it says ROT 13 is a simple substitution cipher and they are simply replacement algorithms. So they've just given sort of an example of a substitution cipher called Caesar cipher. So it shifts the alphabet by a set number. In this case, it has been shifted by, I think, 6 actually. So in this case, the key would be 6 because A is replaced by G, B is replaced by H, so on. Now it tells us that the password for the next level is in the file Krypton 3. It is in 5-letter group cipher text. It is encrypted with a Caesar cipher. We don't know the key, however. Without any further information, this cipher text may be difficult to break. You do not have direct access to the key. However, it says that you do have access to a program that will encrypt anything you wish to give it using the key. Okay, if you think this is easy, solve it. Okay, and they're also giving us some additional information. Now let's first take a look at the files that we found here. So we have this encrypt key file and Krypton 3. Now encrypt is a binary, it's an executable which will encrypt any file that we tell it to. The key file is the file that contains the key being used for encryption. But of course, if I just try to access the key file, I won't be able to do that. And if I just try to see what is present within Krypton 3, then this is the ciphertext that we need to decrypt. So now let's take a look at what it's saying here. The encrypt binary will look for the key file in your current working directory. Therefore, it is a good idea to create a working directory in the temp folder and add a link to the key file there. You also need to give Krypton 3 access to your working directory because the encrypt binary runs setuid of Krypton 3. Okay, no worries. So it's saying that you just need to create a directory in temp and work there. Because see, what we need to do is first we need to create a file, add some text into it, which will act as our plain text. Then we need to get this encrypt binary to encrypt our file. And based on that, by observing what it is doing, how it is encrypting, we can then figure out the key and we can use that to decrypt the actual ciphertext. So in order to create that file, add some data to a file and get this program to encrypt it, we need to be able to make changes to the directory. But on a system like that, you will not be able to make any files or make any changes to this directory. So whatever you do, you need to do that in the temp directory. So in temp, okay, let's see what they want us to do first. They want us to create a link to the key file. Okay, so link is Krypton Krypton 2 key file or tart file exists. Okay, my bad. I need to create a directory, and directly work here. I need to create a directory inside temp, and I need to add the link here. Now, if I check the contents, okay, so our link has been created. Now, this is a link to the key file which is present in the Krypton 2 directory. This is, we are not copying the file, okay, this is a symbolic link. You can think of it as a shortcut in Windows. So it points towards the original file. Okay, and now it says that we need to give this Krypton 3 permission. So we'll change the directory permissions and give everyone all kinds of access. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to add some kind of plain text and get this encrypt program to encrypt it. So what I'll do is nano, and I'll create a file here. Let's just say play. I can just add simple abcdefgh, exit, save the file, right? Okay, so the file has been created. All I need to do is encrypt it now. So for encrypting, we need to be able to access the encrypt binary, and of course we need to tell it the file to encrypt. Okay, so it should have run. And okay, there's another file now here, which is known as Cipher Text. So I can try to cat out the contents, see what I get. Okay, so MNOPQRST. This is the content of the file. This is the cipher text that we received by encrypting the plain text that we generated. So in this case, our plain text was ABCD, simply CFGH. Okay, AB, simple alphabetical characters. We generated the first few characters of the alphabet to see how they are being encrypted or what the key is. So A becomes NB, A becomes M, B becomes N. So in this case, the key is 12. Now that is the most important part to figure out. So we know that the key is 12. Now, how can I decrypt the original file? No takers for that one. Okay. Okay, so again we can use the tr command, and how this work is cat ciphertext tr. Now for encoding we specified this first. We specify this first for encoding, and in case of ROT 13, because for ROT 13 the encoding and decoding, the order in which you specify does not matter, because if something is shifted by 13 characters, to decode it you can either shift it by 13 more characters, so you can perform ROT 13 again, so the entire text is shifted by 26 characters, or in other words it becomes the same and you get the original text. Or another thing that you can do is you can simply decode it. But for other key values in ROT 13, the key is 13. But in this case, the key is 12. So this is ROT 12, you could say. So if I were encoding it, I would write A to Z and M to Z and A to L. So in this case, I should be able to write the reverse thing to get the answer. Let's see. Okay, not ciphertext. I actually need to do this on Krypton 3 file. Okay, so that gives us the answer. So this is our password for the next level. Now what we can do is copy this. I'm just going to exit from here. Sorry, ex. And since we used SSL within the server itself, when you exit for the first time, you'll be back as Krypton 1. You can exit the entire thing and Krypton 3. Okay, let's try. Okay, so now we have gained access to the next level. Can close this now. Can also close this. So again, we go to the Krypton directory, Krypton 3 now. See what we have. Cat readme. So it says, well done, you moved past an easy substitution cipher. Hopefully you just encrypted the alphabet plain text to fully expose the key in one swoop, which is exactly what we did. The main weakness of a simple substitution cipher is repeated use of a simple key. In the previous exercise, you were able to introduce arbitrary plain text to expose the key. In this example, the cipher mechanism is not available to you, the attacker. However, you have been lucky, you have intercepted more than one message. The password to the next level is found in the file Krypton 4, and you have also 3 other files. Okay, on this one, I would like you to try by yourself once, see what you get, and then tell me. And if you take a look at the hint, it tell you that some letters are prevalent in English more than others. The second hint expands upon this, and it tells you that frequency analysis is your friend. So that means that the technique that will be employed here is frequency analysis. So I'd like you all to try this out. And of course, keep practicing these things. Okay, there are other war games here, there are other exercises to solve on this website. I'm not covering any more of this because I have other things to cover in the syllabus. I have other CTFs to go to as well. Like within the course, we have other CTFs to cover as well. So we are not covering the entire thing, but this was to show you that you can use this website, how you can solve the challenges, and how you can learn new concepts as you move forward. Now, there is a couple of other websites that I think I should mention here since you're talking about solving challenges. So, one is vchal.net. Now, this is not a war game and it's not like a CTF where you're trying to hack into a machine and finding flags or something. That's not what this is. But it has some challenges which you can solve online completely. Or there might be a few where you need to download a couple of things, but mostly it's just okay, a few concepts that they are trying to get you to understand. So it's vchal.net. You can create an account here for free completely and try and access these challenges. Like, for example, if you see the first challenge, it says that the solution is hidden in this page. Okay, so if it says that it's a hidden solution, where should we look for first? Hidden in this page. So, what is the first thing we should look at? They've also given a small hint. We use view source code to get it. Now, if I just say, you know, view page source, I can take a look at this page and I'll find it somewhere within this HTML page. So it's most probably going to be something like an HTML comment. So let's see. But no matter how many times you keep looking at this, you'll not find it because they've written it in a manner that it will only be visible with developer tools. And you press F12, you get the developer tools, go to the inspector, and here is your answer. You're looking for this password, HTML underscore source code. So if I enter that, okay, and submit, then it says, okay, you have solved this challenge. Then again, of course, there's challenges on crypto. This is just Caesar, so I'm not covering it again. Okay, then there's other interesting stuff like I'll close this. Now this is ASCII. So it says in a computer you only work with numbers. In this challenge you have to decode the following message, which is in ASCII. So what it means is when you're representing characters or numbers or special characters in a computer, of course, it does not understand ABCD. It just understands numbers. So there is a code assigned to each of these, alphabets for each of these characters. And these are the ASCII codes. ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So what they're saying is you need to figure out what the actual text behind this sequence of ASCII characters is. So they also are providing a hint in the form of okay that this is a useful link. So if you go to this link, you'll see that it's a table, it's a description. So you see the codes in decimal, hexadecimal, octal, and the character that they represent. So these are just special characters and stuff. Now from here, the characters that you're more familiar with might start. So 32 is for space, 33 is for exclamation. Similarly, your numerical values start from 48 to 57, so 0 to 9. Your alphabets go from 65 to 90 for the uppercase and 97 to 122 for lowercase. Similarly, there are other characters as well. So all we need to do is we need to figure out what this represents. One way to do that is to sit and look at this entire table and keep matching each and every value. But of course, that's going to take a while. What you can instead do is copy this, look for an ASCII to text converter and see what you can find. Okay, let's see whether this is going to work. Yeah. Okay, this does not work. So there might be some issues with this converter. Let's try something else. If I enter here, okay, this is able to convert it correctly and it's giving us the answer. The solution is this. Okay, copy it, paste it here and submit. And that is the correct answer. Now, this website has been around for a long time and they also have a very handy list here of other similar websites which you can try and target and get practice with. So there's a lot of things that you can do to practice. Okay, you can work on CTFs, you can work on war games, you can access websites like these. There's a lot of stuff to do. So I just wanted to show you this as well. So this give you an idea of the different kind of platforms that you have available online that you can go and you can learn new stuff from. So in our next session, I'll be moving back to traditional CTFs that we started with. Those kind of machines we'll again go back to starting from our next session. So again, however, you have all these other alternatives that you can also visit and use them for practice and build up your skills there. Okay, so